Hello, I'm Jamie.
Hello, I'm Mark, and it's time for another episode of Through the Garden Gate. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between, it's Tuesday night.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and everything in between.
That's exactly what I said.
Oh.
It's Tuesday night, it's 7:30. It's time for another episode of
Through the Garden Gate.
Through the Garden Gate.
Gate.
Through the Garden Gate. I thought we were just repeating what the other said. No? Let's get Jamie in.
So,
Evening.
you're not
What on earth are you two on about?
Jamie, you're kind of coming through the speaker.
Hang on, turn that off.
You sound awful.
Jamie, you were kind of coming through the speaker.
Is that better?
Yeah, perfect now. That was terrible. Couldn't hear
That
me
was
again.
because we were doing the speaker.
I'd left the speaker on and we were going through the speaker.
Oh, I see. I get you. What, you had a Bluetooth?
I'm just getting my gardening question.
Bit of a Bluetooth.
Rainy in Norfolk.
It's just started literally about 3 or 4 minutes ago.
It's made its way down from Lincolnshire then.
I've heard the, still here now, claps of thunder, bolts of lightning, and the most amazing big, I just put it on the story, big black cloud. It's almost brown.
Yeah.
Came
We've had
rolling
hail
over.
and all sorts.
When?
On my way home, it was hailing.
No, I got no hail,
Yeah,
but it's definitely
I heard the
raining
thunder and
now.
lightning, Dad, but I heard the thunder and lightning. Well, I heard the lightning and I saw the lightning.
You heard the thunder and you saw the light.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's no
Got it.
sitting outside from me tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely needed.
Can I just say something before I do my gardening question? That
No.
night I went swimming and I can jump in on my own. So I can jump in on my own into the shallow end without my teacher holding me or anything.
Well done, mate. Well done, that's good.
Head
Is
into
that-
the water.
Yeah.
Do you let your head go under?
Well, kind of, because I went like this. Bang. Head in for a second and then come back up.
Very good.
Still good. All progress.
Yeah.
Very, very good, mate. You're doing good.
Evening, Jenny. Evening, Gemma, under your new guys.
Yes. We didn't know who she was last night. She was watching
I heard
me
that.
and Lexi
A
last
little
night.
bit.
Didn't even know who she was. Can't believe it. Soon realised when she told us. Come on in, George. Give us your best.
Garden question then. Let's go garden question. How long does it take a radish to grow from seed to harvest?
Ooh,
And we have options.
oh, you've got options.
A, 3 to 4 weeks. B, 2 to 3 weeks. C, 5 to 6 weeks. Or D, 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. Answers in the box, and then we'll reveal.
Answers in
Let's
the
see if we
boxy
both
box.
go for the same option. Evening, Jack. I'm just going to do the gardening question, and then we'll get you in shortly. Are you done? Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Go! I've gone C. Jamie's gone.
It's
5
5
to
to 6 weeks.
That was C as well, wasn't it?
5 to 6 weeks is C, yes. Yeah,
So both gone the same.
You're either both right or both wrong. But I know the answer. And I get a point again.
What do you mean?
3 to 4 weeks.
Don't agree. Don't agree. 5 to 6 weeks. I'd say it's closer to 6.
40 days, I'd have said.
30 to 40. Yeah, that is about right.
Well, that's like over 4 weeks.
It's either 30 in 3 to 4 weeks, it'll be. Let me think.
It'll have definitely germinated, but whether or not it's fledged radish, yeah, we are arguing with Google.
I'm trying to talk about this answer because I don't agree.
We'll argue with Google.
Go and argue with Google, then.
Google says from seed to harvest 3 to 4 weeks. I don't know. I saw somewhere the other day something told me 6 weeks.
6?
Mm,
Well, you should always listen to Google. Well, not always, but that's what
No.
Google said. So that's what
definitely
we're going.
not.
Go and see if you can find a radish.
Okay. Shall I pull it out
Yeah,
and
go
bring
see.
it back in?
Just pull one out. And
Okay.
see if you get the right thing.
Come in.
I had my first harvest, good harvest this week, just gone,
Radish
and
leaves look like.
it was radishes.
Sort of round.
Oh, they're round. Okay. Got it.
It's
Oh
probably going to
dear,
bring.
Steph's not happy. Let's have a look then. Right. So when did you sow those?
I can't remember.
That's a good question. Wonder whether it was 3 to 4 weeks ago.
More than that, I bet. But that I wouldn't say that's ready to eat yet.
The very small radish.
That's not ready to eat.
Could eat the leaves and a very small.
We could give it to the rabbits.
Could eat a rabbit, they'd be happy. You're a bit mucky, kid.
I'll have a look, Sissy, because I've done a perfect harvest the other day. It was amazing. So, I don't know. Starry Eye 74. Is it normal for them to split? That's when they've probably gone a bit too far, or they've been dry, and then you've soaked them again.
And then they've gone.
Yeah, and they've
Or
drenched
something's had a nibble as it's growing.
and that's where it's gone open it. Yeah, but they need to stay like most things. Really, they need to try and stay, moist. That lovely word, moist.
I guess it all also depends on what the weather's doing. If it's cooler when you sow them, it'll take longer than what they would if it's optimum temperature and optimum moisture.
Dad, remember what happened when we were taking the sunflower things out, and then
Yeah, you fell in that ditch as well. It was full of water that time.
Yeah,
George,
it was full of water.
George. So you need to now find out when you sowed your.
When I go back down to the house,
look back at Mummy's
I'll look
photos.
back at. I'll look back to Mummy's photos, and then
3 weeks ago.
There you go.
Oh, ow! Got
3 weeks, she says.
Go back to the house then and go get some bite cream and all the rest of it and get yourself sorted.
that was a
Dear
bit.
George.
Anyway, see you next week.
Ta-da, mate.
Question. Mummy's checking now, so she'll tell us.
Even though that I'm injured.
Do we need to carry you back down the garden?
No.
I think it was 5 to 6 weeks ago.
Oh, God. You got to go back in that house in a bit, you know that.
Depends whether Steph actually puts in the chat what the answer is. He sowed them 3 weeks ago on Saturday. There you go.
Yeah. What, Saturday just gone or Saturday coming?
Well, either way, it's 3 or 4 weeks. Sit with him.
It's been raining here a lot, so I guess they're overwatered. They're probably not overwatered. It's just that I bet they were really dry to start with, and then it rained lots, so that sucked him all up, sucked the water up. That's nowhere near a full radish yet.
Although for some people, that's a triumph.
I don't know how. Easiest things to grow in the world.
Even a child could grow it.
Oh, God, let's not go there. Remember where that got me a few years ago.
I think I'm staying in the caravan tonight by the looks of it. I'm getting locked.
Yes. Have you been doing any gardening this week, Mr. Gardener?
Oh, of course, I've been gardening. Well, actually, mostly messing around with stupid robot lawnmowers.
Oh, no. What's going on?
If that counts as gardening. Well, since we were last on, we've got a new Husqvarna to replace the old Husqvarna. We've upgraded that. So we've got Nibbles the second.
Mm-hmm.
does a bigger area, and it's a professional machine, so it's more hard wearing.
Yeah.
And better built. And the Cress machine that we had has gone back because it broke.
No way.
Yeah. So it had what they were saying was a software problem, but they couldn't resolve the software problem, so it must have been a mechanical problem with the wheel motor. And they didn't have any stock for another 3 to 4 weeks to replace it like for like. So we just said, forget it, because we've got no confidence in it anyway. It literally spent about 6 weeks, 6 days out of 3 weeks actually doing the lawn.
What? So you give it back and that's it? Not
Yeah,
having it back again. You're going to get a new one.
Yeah, well, I don't. We're probably going to get a 4-wheel drive Husqvarna.
All right. Okay.
Because we trust the software and everything on the Husqvarna. And in the meantime, I'm able to map all of the other areas on the other mower. And then as soon as we get the new Husqvarna, because it's the same software, you literally don't map anything, so it can just shoot off straight away.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which is a shame, because it did seem like it was a really good machine, but it obviously wasn't durable, or we just got really unlucky. Which could have been, because the guy that installed it said he's never had one do it before, and he's installed them. So
Jim has just said how big area can it do?
So the new one can do 12,000 square meters.
That's lots.
Whereas the old one could only do 3,500 square meters. So it's nearly 4 times as much.
You could just get 2 of the same ones then, could you?
No, because the reason we got the Crest one was for the 4x4 element of it. So
of course, yeah, got the hills and things.
Yeah, it's not as good. And we did try it out on the hills just to see if maybe it could do it, because it's got the capacity to do all the whole lawn, but not on those areas. It just couldn't cope. It needs that 4x4. It is quite a steep slope.
Right. That is a lot, yeah. Starry eyes. Well, yes, you can sow radish as much as you want. Keep going. Put loads in.
Keep going. Yeah.
Do a row, wait a week, do a row, wait a week, do a row, wait a week. Keep doing that.
Keep going all through the season.
Yeah,
and don't do loads. Don't do loads, because otherwise you'll end up wasting them.
Yeah. So just say do a bit of a row and then wait and then do another ones, and they'll just once you get 3 or 4 weeks in, you'll have a bit of a turnover.
Start turning into a radish.
Yeah, mine are lovely, absolutely lovely, really nice.
And if
I munch them like
sweets.
sweets.
Seed, you can eat the seeds as well. The seed pods and the
I
leaf.
just munch them like sweets. They're amazing things.
Yeah, there's definitely like an optimal size of radish, isn't there?
Ah,
it goes beyond that. It's not good.
That goes all woody and hollow. A lot of them, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awful. All my I put all my pumpkins and squash out at the weekend.
I've done some. I've done about probably half.
And my beans.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, beetroot as well. Do them.
Yeah, beetroot, keep successional sowing.
Successional sowing. Just do a few and then wait a week, do another few, and then they'll all be staggered, so you'll have a constant supply.
And again, you can eat the leaves.
Yeah.
As well as the root.
Yes, it's now all ramping up, isn't it? It's we're getting to peak season for getting stuff in and eating them.
Well, I think May was a bit of a write-off with how hot it was, because anything you tried sowing in May, it just got absolutely scorched because it was too hot. So I think going to be a lot of catching up in June.
Which beans? Oh God, I got 7 or 8 different varieties of beans. Got the standard French beans, purple and green, some runners, but then I got about 5 or 6 different beans for drying. Lotties, and I think there's one called a Christmas pole and a 1,500-year-old one. Several of them are from America.
I've also got one that's runner bean, but it's a dwarf runner bean, so you can have it in a pot, and it never goes up. It just sort of creates a little bush. I thought that'd be quite interesting to try.
Yeah, I've never liked dwarf beans. For some reason, I don't know. I just think they're a pain in the bum to pick.
Yeah,
If they get too bushy, you got to get your hands in and find them and pull them apart.
But they're good for like filling in beds where you've got gaps. You can just shove in a dwarf bean rather than needing something for it to climb.
Yeah, maybe I'll give them a go again.
I feel like they have a lot more beans per plant as well, the dwarf ones, whereas the big ones you don't, because they sprawl. I don't feel like they have anywhere near as much. The little ones just have like beans all the way up the stem.
Mm. Yeah, maybe I'll have to try some again.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Yeah, so allotment is starting to fill up.
Yeah, there's definitely more going on now. And I've added an extra bed which I need to fill up. And then I'm going to extend my squash arch by another metre. So I've got more capacity this year.
Mm. Oh, yeah, I saw you put a new bed and you said about that. Is that for the squash arch to grow in over?
Yeah, so, yeah, what I do is I plant the squash in the raised beds next to the squash arch, and then as they grow, just pull them over the arch.
Put them over and then they get going, yeah.
Yeah, and then on the other side, I've got planters, pallet planters. So one goes in a bed, one goes in a planter. It tends to be that the ones in the bed do better.
Mm.
Or they did
Gemma,
last year.
I've tried, and I've tried again this year. So 3 years in the trot, I've tried to grow edamame. Never germinate, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But I have heard that it's hardly worth it because you get hardly any.
Well, they're probably not warm enough yet. Once we get warmer summers, it probably work better, maybe.
Yeah, I can't even get them to germinate.
Right.
3 years on the trot now. I love edamame. Sissy, and favourite tomato? Come on, I went through this last night with Lexi.
Crushed heart.
Crushed heart. Can't beat it.
Can't beat crushed heart.
No, they're definitely one of the best.
Home for a cherry. That's my favourite.
Yeah, definitely.
Really sweet.
Have you done any micros this year?
Yeah, I've got all the ones that I did last year.
Mm.
Have I still got one? I think I've still got one that I overwintered as well.
Yes.
Because I took a cutting at the end of the year, rooted it, and then planted it. So that one, I think, has got... Yeah, that one's got fruit on it now. Because my other one that I've got indoors is the one that we got from the garden press event. So I've got one micro that was from last year.
Yeah.
And then I've got new ones that are only like just getting going. Which are the...
I've got some, but they're still in plugs. I wasn't that fussed of them last year. A couple of them just didn't taste nice at all.
Yeah, I can't say I was blown away by them. They're just kind of a bit of... They're quite good for having inside. I have them in the conservatory because you can just put them in like a little 3-litre pot and just carry on.
Hey Joe, don't worry, you missed a lot. Right, let's go, shall we?
Let's go. Tonight we have a lifelong nature lover, a gardener, a designer, a writer who was featured in Gardener's World magazine, The Guardian, Gardens Illustrated, and many other publications, as well as being the author of Wild About Weeds and A Greener Life. And I would also add artist to that list if you've been on his website. So let's get him in. It's Jack Wallington. Jack Wallington. The first time.
Works.
Hello?
See? All this Instagram magic works. How are you, Jack? You all right?
I'm good, thank you. You know what? I am loving the radish debate. That's what I'm here for. I've been waiting my life to have a great discussion.
And what would your take be on it?
My take would be I've never had a radish grow within 4 weeks, so I must be doing something. It's usually about 5-6 weeks, but maybe this is my time. I'm thinking tomorrow, if I sow some radishes perfectly and give them all a really mollycoddle them, water them properly, maybe I can raise. Yeah, that's my plan.
I think we all have to do it. All three of us tomorrow.
Maybe
we
we
need
have a
to
race.
sow some radish seeds at the same time, and then see who gets the fullest, best radish quickest.
Who's the fastest radish in the Forget what matters is speed.
Definitely. Right, before we start on the proper stuff, I need to talk to you about something.
Oh.
And I've only just seen it, I don't know, half an hour ago. What is this eating kiwi skins?
I wish I had one here with me, but over bank holiday weekend, we had Friends Day, and our friend Dolly was like, "Oh, she saw kiwis on our table." Was like, "I eat those with the skin on," and I just went, "What?" I think since I've discovered this, I think half the world already knows about it, and half has never heard of it like me. And I was like, right. So about a week later, I was like, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to eat it, having never eaten the skin of a kiwi. I've always peeled it off, or whatever, cut it off painstakingly. And I ate it. And I was expecting hairy kiwi, and it was just like that. It was totally fine. It was like eating a slightly thicker skinned apple or something. And so I'm like, why have I been wasting my entire life? Not that I've had that many kiwis in my life, really. But,
Yeah.
you can eat the skin on a kiwi. There's loads more fibre in it. It's really, why have I been throwing that good bit away? I don't know. Anyway, so I've done it so that everyone else doesn't have to go through that initial fear of eating the kiwi skin. Yeah, so I've never.
Well, I saw you doing it, and I thought, oh my God, what is he doing? But I will try it now. Next time I have kiwi, I will try it. I normally sit and eat it like a boiled egg with a spoon.
Yeah, I do that.
And then just...
That's what I was doing. I've since had comments from people going, "Who are these spoon kiwi people?" And I was like, "Me."
Unbelievable.
What have I been peeling? So things like, obviously I eat the skin on a potato, but now I'm thinking, do I dare eat a banana skin?
Oh. Oh, I could just feel it on my teeth, all going all gritty and horrible.
Even
No,
monkeys
definitely
don't eat the skin, do they? They peel it.
That's true. That's true. Take their lead.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Right, enough about kiwis. But I am going to do it. I don't really know where to start because my list is massive and what Mark's just said is massive. Should we start at the beginning? Because you changed your career from what to what? Let's go from there, shall we?
Yeah, I did. So my previous career was running websites for different. My first proper job was working at Cancer Research UK. Well, actually, first of all, I started out running websites in the music industry for cheesy pop artists, which is really fun as a young teenager, early 20-something. And then I went to Cancer Research UK, kept on running websites for different organisations, for tech, for last one was in education. So that kind of involved, in the end, it was like social media, forums, writing content stuff. And I actually enjoyed it, but I was like, I want something different. I've always loved gardening, and it just found me mid-30s. So I was like, and I just retrained. Had no idea that garden design was a thing. And yet here I am 10 years later doing this.
So what actually flicked that button then when you finally made the decision to do it? Because I'm sure there's so many people that want to, but they daren't. That's the thing. Daren't do it.
I remember having, in the years, I kept saying, oh, if I could do something else, I'd become a gardener. And my friends, some of my people I knew were just going, oh, don't do that. Just don't give up your career for gardening. It's like, well, actually, I love it. That's what I love. I've always loved it. dropped down to 4 days a week at work so I could study an art course. And I'm not quite sure what happened, but it coincided with us buying a small flat with a small garden, and I just started doing RHS courses and for fun. And that's drawn to it, the best thing ever. And I was visiting gardens and learning all of the stuff, and it just fueled. I think that's that course around the time when I was having a bit of a rethink, just fueled everything. And then I went to garden shows and I saw garden designs, and I was like, oh blimey, they're actually quite. They're not naff. Some of these are amazing. And I was learning about growing food and fruit and veg, and I was like, oh, now I know that I can't not know it, and I have to do it. So it's like, yeah, so just all a natural thing. But I've never looked back. So if people are thinking of doing it, it is hard to change, especially when you got houses and others or whatever is families, abilities. The money is difficult. I'm not going to lie about that. But it's been so good. I'll never look back.
Brilliant. Sounds amazing, absolutely amazing. But yeah, it's just that thing. What about if I do it and then there's no money? But yeah, I'm sure you're a good thing to, if you can do it, why can't anybody do it?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, seriously, if I can do it, everyone can definitely do it.
I didn't mean it in a bad way at all.
You have to have the build place financially. Like you have to think about that carefully. Give yourself like 6 months to a year. There is out there if you really haven't got it and stuff. Tricky, but yeah, quite often I was relying on my. Ooh, who's that?
Stash.
Dash, who is normally barking in the background and praising Mark to throw the ball for him.
Getting more chilled out now. We've got a caravan down here.
It's got somewhere to sit.
Yeah.
So, what can you remember? What your first design was? That your first paid design job.
Okay, yeah. So there's two first design. One, I had the first design, and then there was the first design that was implemented. So the second one was the first one that got planted was the first paid one. The very first design I did was for a friend. I was just like, I'll do it for free just to get some experience. And it was a front garden. It was north facing. It was about 6 meters by 6 meters square. And I think the brief came in and said, we just want more, what was it, more Viv and Voom or something like that. More. And they wanted more colour and scent. So it was really ornamental. But it was, to this day, it's one of my favourite ones. It's just a plant community where the whole front garden is just a big square of planting. And we did it like full shade, but actually it was really colourful using heucheras, hydrangeas, brunneras, trying to think what else was first. Basically, this is my first one. I stuffed everything in, as many plants as I possibly could. We only had a small garden back then, so I had all these big ideas to do more, and it turned out really well. Like years later, I haven't seen it for a few years now, but years later, it was still going, still and really settled in. Climbers, there was a climbing hydrangea and stuff. So that was a real opportunity to try out plant community design, which was in my head from all of my lessons and all the books from and show gardens, people like Pete Udolph and Nigel Dunnett, James Hitchmuth, who else is there? People like Dan Pearson as well. So all of those things, I'm going to chuck everything in the kitchen sink.
We've mentioned it before on here about you kind of you said about it going back to it and seeing it again. Do you, because if the people who've got the garden now, this beautiful garden, are not gardeners, do they keep it up, or do you give them some tips and how to keep it looking nice?
Yeah, I do. This is the biggest challenge with garden, because actually, I mean, you all know, and everyone listening, the like 90% of garden design is actually the gardening and garden maintenance and keeping it going and a care. So actually, as the years went on, and now before I take on a project, I have a requirement that they have to commit to having a gardener, and sometimes that could be quite often the owner. They want to learn how to do it. They just hand, and some gardens are more successful than others. But yeah, I suppose it steered my mind towards low maintenance stuff, and I think people mistake low maintenance as no maintenance, which is just it's impossible unless you're doing one of those horrible, completely packed, and even that needs washing. But yeah, so I think there's always maintenance, but it really steered me towards that was, let's try and do low maintenance possible, to the point where these years later our main garden ultra low maintenance. I think in spring this year I've done virtually nothing except mow the path, plant some new plants, and then take years and cut back a few buttercups where they're swamping the new plants. So okay, it takes time. Back and off. Oh, especially in the first couple of years when stuff is bedding in, it's trying to compete with more vigorous buttercups or dandelions and stuff. Is those gardens in the first few years that haven't been looked after where that's struggle.
Mark, every time I hear Dash, I can't hear Jack. That cuts Jack off. Yeah.
Right. I'm muting Mum.
I don't mean you got to mute yourself. Just every time I could hear something in Mark's background, that muted you. I couldn't hear you at all sometimes.
Oh, my sound okay otherwise?
It's perfect unless Mark or Dash are talking. So your garden design these days is you try and aim towards wildlife and sustainability more, don't you?
I do, yeah. It's been a gradual. Well, actually, I suppose from the very beginning, I've been interested in supporting wildlife. So it's always been organic. I've always wanted stuff that I knew would be useful to wildlife. But as time's gone on, I've just learned more and seen what works and what doesn't. And so it's about establishing habitats and talk about plant communities where it's. I'm sure a lot of people know, but if not, that's thinking about the whole bed as one, with all the plants living side by side, and they might self-seed or spread around. A bit like the meadow is the classic example. It's easy to understand, where you have loads of plants all stuffed in close together. But actually you can do plant communities of bigger sizes, so it could be larger perennials, leafier perennials, it could be shrubs and mixed plantings, or even woodland is a plant community. Forest gardening is your one of the edible examples of plant communities. And I suppose the point of that is it's lots of stuff that the whole plant community becomes self-sustaining. I kind of want to plan planting areas that will outlive me. That's the plan, is that they'll last as long as possible. And it's not always quite that successful, but sometimes it is sort of going in that trajectory. And that gives stability for wildlife, beauty for us. But yes, it's all about establishing long-lasting habitat. So you're actually, with every project, you're trying to do something meaningful for wildlife and the owner. And I think it's possible. I definitely believe it's possible to do both. You can have a beautiful garden and it can be really good for wildlife, and that just makes it even more beautiful. So yeah, that's the focus. But I think even more as time goes on, I'm studying what insects and using which plants, what eats the insects and so on. So that's my big interest.
So what about if the owner of the garden doesn't want that kind of thing? Would you try and persuade them and push them that way, and explain, like you just have, maybe to why you should?
Yeah, I was about to say no, I'd take a hard line, but actually you're right. I do go back and just say this is why you should. I kind of have quite a hard line. I have when I send out my pack, one of the first pages is like the things that I don't do. So it's like I don't do astroturf, I don't do pesticides, I don't do all the stuff. And it's got to have at least 70% planting and stuff like that. It's just I don't mean it's not meant to be negative or tough, but it's like that's what I'm best at. That's my it's best to match up that way. But I suppose I have conversations all the time. You might want this plant because is really beneficial for this moth and butterfly. And when you start, every time I explain it, people get, and they are very, I think I'm very, someone push back and say, oh no, I'm adamant, I don't want that in there or something, or there's not something else we can replace it with. So yeah, you're right, actually. I don't really think about that, but it is a constant education. And I found that, I suppose people come to me for that sort of stuff, but the clients and garden owners that I work with, they really learn, and like, I think they want to understand it because they want to do something good. And about a large chunk want to do the gardening themselves, actually, which is a big, I think sometimes they underestimate how much of a big job that can be in certain situations. Yeah, it's good.
It must be hard to turn people away, though. It must be so hard.
It's got easier. I think. No, it is hard. It is hard. Every time one comes in, I'm like, oh, brilliant project. That's brilliant. But because I'm just I don't have a big studio. I've stuck to just being me as a one person band, man band, and but I work with who help do the bigger stuff. I suppose I think it also comes with age, because I came to it a bit later in life. It's like mid to late 30s. I'm now in mid 40s. I'm pretty clear on what I want to do, and I'm pretty clear on if it's not something I quite want to do, it's probably because it's not quite a fit for me. And it says usually something like, oh, if they actually want a really usable garden with lots of, and the focus is more about the patios, they're not really interested in the planting. Is that the truth? Is I'm not the best person for that? Or if they want lots of honestly, I'm not the best person because my heart won't be in it. And I can recommend other designers who do those sorts of things. So yeah, it is hard turning some stuff out, and sometimes I just can't take stuff on, and it could be an amazing project. Or I get a lot of stuff. We live in Yorkshire. I used to live in London. I still get a lot of stuff for a request from London. But it's just too far away because I like to visit the gardens. So never say never, but I am further down in Kent actually, but I can't do lots of gardens in London or that far away because it's just a challenge logistically. So they're the ones, I suppose, where it's hard to turn it down because it could be an amazing project, but too far.
Yeah, I suppose if your website explains what you do and what you don't do, so I guess they'll have a good read up before they even come and give you the first phone call, email.
I think that's what just have it's like a net really, or they go through that, and they're quite, from the beginning it's quite clear. And like I changed it the other day just to say the first thing is like help nature. So it's like if that isn't in the list of top priorities, and they're probably not going to come to me for it. Every now and then I'll get one saying I want astroturf or something, and it's just a clear no. And in those cases I will go back and not just turn it down, but I'll say, did you know it's actually really bad? So yeah, that's what.
Yeah. So just focusing more on the wildlife part of it, and you used the word sustainable a couple of times already. In your words, because we hear it all the time these days, what is sustainable?
Right. Okay, that's a good test. Let's think. So for me, it's sustainable is I suppose it's about the cycle, that it's we can use it, and we can two parts to it. I guess one part is low impact on the planet, and that it is renewable in our lifetime, I suppose. So when I think about so the good example is peat and peat-free compost, where peat compost taken from a bog where it takes 1,000 years to produce a metre depth of compost. So yeah, if you get the hydrology right with water, it will naturally replenish, but you're talking about 1 millimetre a year. So in our lifetime, that is not going to replenish. So I guess sustainability stuff needs to be able to be replenished, and within a lifetime really, or less ideally, to be sustainable. I think so. It's about minimize everything we do in gardens has some impact, as a footprint on the planet, I think, and it minimize that. So digging up and quarrying stone for patios has an impact, but if you get it locally or you get renewable recycled, upcycled stone, then you're keeping it going essentially. So you're reducing the impact down again. Yeah. So there's a bit of a waffling answer actually. So I hope that was something.
No, it's good. Keep going.
But it's best to talk about examples like furniture. Plastic, I would say, is not sustainable. It can be recycled, but yeah, it can be recycled and recyclable, which is pretty good because you keep doing that, but it still has a process of heat chemicals involved in doing that. Whereas locally sourced, well-managed forested wood furniture, yes, you're cutting down a tree and it has some kind of carbon impact, but and particularly if the trees are coppiced, for instance, they're going to grow back again. So it's a bit of a better way of doing it. Yes, so I think if you start talking about gardens, it's mainly around the hard landscaping, furniture, and the materials. So minimising plastic is always a good one. Thinking about, we mentioned earlier about compost, and if you can make your own compost from materials grown in your garden, that's ultra sustainable. Yeah, so I think
Are we going there already?
Sorry, I was like, I was thinking,
Do it.
I never did.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, I'm a compost geek, and I know you are, and Mark loves making compost as well. Yeah, let's have a chat about compost. If it's the most sustainable thing you can do in your garden, everybody should do it.
I think it is definitely up there, isn't it? Because it's you're taking a waste material in your garden and turning it into something that powers the growth or plant. It could be edible or whatever. So it's part of that natural. It's wonderful, and actually, it's pretty easy to do. There's a bit of a. I mean, you're better than I am. I basically just pile everything up into huge piles. The reason that's just a bit of a detour. When we first moved here about 5 years ago, it was just as COVID was going on, and prices of wood had gone sky high, and priced up compost bays, and I was like, right, what I want is untreated, locally sourced hardwood that's going to last forever. I went into the timber merchant, and it was a 3 meter long 3 bay compost, and they worked it out, and he just started laughing. He said, like, it's £1,000, and I was just like, okay. I don't want to use. I can't afford the most expensive compost. I mean, I love compost, but not that much. And I don't want pallets. So and I was like, oh, hang on, I don't need anything. I can just pile it up, which I've done, and it works. So just great big piles. I hardly turn them. When I do, I can just delve into them and get the compost out the bottom and stuff. So it can be easy. It can be easy.
Definitely can. Yeah, you don't have. There is obviously a. Should we say perfect, or one of the best ways to do it? Layer it up, have the right percentages of brown and green, etc., etc. But yeah, why not just pile it up? And that's what I do, because I've got 2 compost bins full at the moment, not ready, but on the other side of my fence next to the allotment, I just keep chucking everything on top, and it's now probably 3 foot high. And that will stay there now, and I'll transfer that into one of my bins but it's happening in that pile. It's happening.
Yeah. How long does it take you to make the compost? If you chuck it in the bin first of all, or less? Awesome.
So I follow Charles Dowden's routes. He's a bit of a guru of mine, and I can get some good stuff out of there in 8 to 12 months.
Right. Yeah.
By turning once as well.
Right. Okay. Do you chop it all up as well, or just go?
Yeah. I don't put no big. Smallest. If it's sticks and things, 2 or 3 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah. But smaller the better, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think you'll be better.
Definitely chuck a whole grass in there, because it's still going to be there pretty much as it was. Definitely all about making stuff smaller, isn't it? The smaller the better.
Yeah. And also what I do is, if I've got lots of greens, I put them to the side, and then as I've got some brown stuff, I'll put a layer of brown, and then just fork some of that, mainly grass cuttings, because that's the what everybody has tons and tons of.
Yeah.
And then just put some on, so I don't just bang, let's say, bang loads of grass cuttings on there. So it just becomes a soggy mess.
Yeah. My top tip is actually because we've got 4 willow trees kind of in the way of other stuff, and so I coppice them every year. And actually, we got people that come and chop back stuff now to collect it, but actually, I'll just shred that kind of 1 year growth, and it's a bit woody, a bit green. I think is it called ramial wood? That kind of that young first, really nutritious. Put it through, chuck it on a compost heap. It takes a bit longer, so maybe at least a year, but then it just makes the most amazing soil. It's sort of rotted down, but it's little tiny bit woody, so it's kind of like good to break up the soil. We've got quite heavy clay. So that's been really good. And hedge clipping is my other favourite because they just make you get that leafy, tiny twiggy mix, which is a perfect combo.
Definitely. How do you shred that up? I run my lawnmower over mine.
Oh, that's a good idea. I don't do that. I should be doing that. What do I do? I guess I actually just I just chuck it on and hope for the best. And I might get just maybe chop up the biggest bits a little bit because it's quite twiggy little pieces, so it's kind of not bad. After a year, all about starting to break down when you turn it over and stuff. I feel like I should be more careful with what I put on a compost heap. It does seem to work. Everything breaks down eventually.
It does, exactly. And you've proven that you're getting some decent stuff out of it. So you've proven it. You don't have to stick to the rules. It's just but when you're a bit of a geek, and I am now actually what they call a master composter. I've done the course, I've done the exam. I'm now classed as a master composter for Norfolk County Council. So
wow, okay, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I feel like you need some kind of apron or something.
I have a t-shirt and a lanyard.
Oh, really? Lanyard.
That's all you need.
You need to get that lanyard framed, have it up on the wall.
No need to wear it when we go to do's and things. We will be at not Chelsea, the Sandringham Flower Show, RHS Sandringham this year. I'm going to be there in my master composter's hat on, and I'll be going around, having a look as well. So,
That's amazing.
I love it. Yeah, it's really good, really, really good.
I'm going to have to make you a hat now that says master composter.
Be careful what you write on that hat, master something. Oh dear, right, where were we? Composting's done. Even though I could keep going on and on about it.
We'll probably come back.
Yeah, we will. We'll go around the houses and come back to it. So tell us about your writing then, because you write as well, not just books and things, but magazines and newspapers and goodness what.
That's one of the things I'm like, I don't know how that happened, but I guess I have to go back. I've always written, so my jobs have always been writing in the previous career, and that kind of served me in good stead for going into gardening. And I basically just started doing a blog about what I was doing, and then it turned out some people were interested in that and just got a little following going. And then and I got really lucky because I think as I'd changed careers and I was writing about that, I was really lucky that lots of the magazines were just super supportive, and they saw that I was going through this, and so they gave me good opportunities and things. And then that randomly led to books and so on, and it's just touch wood, I'm very grateful to all of the opportunities around that. I really enjoy it. It's one of my writing and gardening are the things that just come naturally to me. I love it. So it's if I'm not able to do it, I'll go mad.
Yeah, again, I know where you are. I write for our local newspaper every week, do a little gardening column. Done it for nearly 3 years now, and I absolutely love it. It's like gardening. You go outside, you garden, you switch off from everything else, and you just do that. And writing, there's nothing else in my head apart from what I'm putting on that paper.
Yeah. Do you find it kind of the gardening fuels the writing, and the writing also makes you think about what you're going to do in the garden a bit more? And I suppose social media is all part of the same thing, really. So,
Yeah, I do. And I try to write about what I've just done in the garden, but also try to then talk about what can be done, in the week to come as well. So yeah, definitely.
yeah, I quite like that kind of that thinking ahead makes me plan. Because I think I probably wouldn't be as good as I wasn't like you. If when you're writing about gardening, you're often writing out of the time that you're doing it, particularly if you're doing it. I think so. Kind of, I'll be thinking ahead. So I'm like, oh, actually, and I always want to write about stuff I've definitely done. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going to try growing this thing, and I'm like, oh, I've put it in writing now, so I definitely have to do that. and I always do. Like, it's keeping myself.
Keeps you accountable.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Then you've got to know whether it works or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, writing's good. So where can we read some of your columns then?
Well, am I allowed to plug things? Is that
Definitely. No BBC here.
Yeah. So the main thing, my newsletter, wildway.info. That's kind of I kind of just put all of my diary there and journal stuff and guides and things onto there now. And it's I kind of think of it as a living project of what I'm interested in at the time, so like wildflowers, food, and all sorts. And otherwise, it'll be I'm doing have to mention I'm doing a monthly column for Gardens Illustrated, which I'm super excited about. The editor Steph asked me at the end of last year if I wanted to do it, and I think I was biting her leg off. Yeah, one of my dreams was like, it's amazing to have that. So that's been really good actually, because the brief was to think about bigger topics, and it's just like this amazing opportunity to go and research stuff and then write about it in detail, which I could do in my spare. You know how you could do things but just don't. You have to be given a mission. I think. So they're the main places at the moment that I'm writing.
Yeah. And also, excuse me, books. You've written some amazing books.
Oh, thank you. So what? There it is. That's my baby. That's the one people probably know best. Wild About Wheat. I can't believe that's over 5 years old now. Still, I'm very lucky. It's still going strong. Like went into a bookshop the other week and it was up in the spring section as well. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
But that's an interesting example, because I kind of wrote it and it's a bit like a manifesto to myself. And since I was already interested in the topic enough to write a book about it. But since I wrote that, I've gone. I kind of just the trajectory of growing weeds and wildflowers has just gone through the roof. So it's quite interesting how one fuels the other.
So how did you get interested in weeds then?
Well, I can tell you, I had my old allotment, which is in London, just on the outskirts in Croydon, and I love that place so much. It was amazing. I actually ended up having two, because they were like half size. I got two, so I could have a full size allotment, and then I guarded it because I wanted that. I grew loads of vegetables, well, mostly vegetables, cut flowers and stuff. And I think it was after year one or year two, I was like down on my knees, rifling through the beds, digging out oxalis and I was just like, why am I doing this? I was like, it looks, that little creepy oxalis, like purpley brown leaves. It's so tiny. And I was like, actually, when you look at it like you're close up on the ground, it's quite pretty. And it's so small, there's no way it's going to impact anything. I was just like, why bother it? I remember that really clearly as the first seed of the idea. And I wrote a short blog post called Taming the Weedy Wildflower, with kind of a few paragraph brief of what that book is, I think. But I've always loved them. I've always loved ferns. I've always loved foxgloves. I think and then suddenly realised that every time I spoke to a different gardener, they'd always go, "Oh, I hate weeds apart from this one," and then you speak to someone else, "Oh, I hate weeds apart from that one," and there was always a different one. So after you speak to 100 gardeners, there's like 100 plants which actually aren't that bad. And so you can they all have little strategies for dealing with them. It's like, oh, I need to dig them out, but I'm just going to leave a few daisies because I like them so much. And it's like, this is how I deal with it. So it kind of, it's from those sort of conversations, really. It's very, very cool at that time.
I need to. I need to get it. I haven't got the book, but I need to get it because we talk about weeds on here all the time, and obviously, you know, Mark is a professional gardener, and half the ones that he and other guests talk about, I haven't got a clue. Not the foggiest idea. So I need to get it. Will your book show me all the different weeds and what they're called and pictures and things?
It will, yeah. It's basically got a line where it's got the really bad ones, the ones that are so good everyone calls them wildflowers, and then there's like a little bit in the middle. Thank you, very well modelled. Thank you. So they're the good ones. They're like primroses and bluebells, which are actually quite fuggish plants, but we forgive them because we think they're really pretty. And on the other end of the scale, there's stuff. I hope the book's quite realistic because it's not saying just let them go crazy, and it actually has strategies for containing. So horsetail, emesis, creeping thistle is something I've this year has gone bananas in our meadow, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to deal with it because I'm organic. So I'm like, I can't really dig all. So it's always constantly thinking like, how am I going to deal with these things? On the veg patch, is easier actually. Rectangles where you can, not to downplay it, it's not easy, but you have a rectangle, you can go right stuff out of there. But in a meadow where you've got grass, there's another stuff. It's tough. Yeah.
You're exactly right though. When you're in the allotment, you've got that square rectangle bit. Right, I'm going to do that bit today, and do that bit today, and you can cut it off into bite-sized pieces. But we've got a 5-acre horse field out the back, and she's not listening. Teresa would spray. She works for a hell of a lot of farmers, and you know what they're all like. They'll say, "Yep, spray it off. We'll come and do it for you." And I don't want to because I want to use the horse muck. So, and I don't want any residual stuff in the horse muck. But it's just overrun this year of thistles and nettles, and now the ragwort is coming out, and I don't know what to do. It's 5 acres, and they're getting big rapidly, and I don't think I could even catch up with a strimmer. But what I think we have been talking about is getting a couple of goats.
That's a good idea.
Apparently, goats love thistles, love ragwort, and love nettles, and they will eat that all day long.
Brilliant. That's it. I've been I keep saying to my partner Chris, I'm like, oh, I just really want pygmy fluffy goats or just some ancient breed sheep, just like fluffy. So maybe that's good to know. I think that is this is a good thing. I think sometimes when you set boundaries, it makes your mind work to find, okay, if I can't spray, what can I do? There's usually some.
Definitely. But the only thing is, my allotment is in that field with only a post and rail fence around it. So I need to make that goat proof before we do get it.
Wire.
Definitely, yeah. I'm going to have to get some wire and just completely make it like a fortress, because they'll be in there and they will strip it bare.
Wreck it. And I know goats are notorious for escaping over wire.
I've really genned up on it all. A lot of it's been with ChatGPT, to be honest. But there's 3 kind of sizes. You get the small ones, the pygmies, then the ones which they fully grown are about 750 millimeters high, and then the bigger ones, which are a meter high to the back, a bit bigger, and they're the ones that can jump over 4 or 5 foot. But if you get the middle-sized ones, they can't jump too high. So that's the ones we're going to have to go for.
You'll have to let me know what happens. I'm so interested to know. But
But the thing is, we must have used to be able to do it because that's how people lived. They had land with multiple types of animal on, and it maintained the land. We've just got, we've taken the easy way out. I'll go chuck some Roundup on it, and we've forgotten what people used to do.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's you're right. I totally agree. I think that's yeah, that makes me feel better. I think you're right. Like it's only in the last 100 years we're using chemicals. What happened thousands of years before? Like we weren't all eating thistles.
No, and we had pasture, didn't we? So they must have got rid of the weeds then. Must have.
Yeah.
But it's not just that; it's feeding the grass as well. Because again, the farmers say, "Oh, come and put some nitrogen on it. That'll go crazy. It'll be lovely." But nitrogen is only a quick fix. You'll get that first shot, that'll grow up and it'll be lovely, and then as soon as it's eaten down again, that'll need it again. So again, I'm thinking if we get goats, they'll pull it out the other end, and hopefully, eventually, that'll get dragged down and help the grass.
Yeah.
I know it'll take maybe a year or two to get the whole process going over and over and over, but I think that's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I was chatting to a lady called Karen who works for the Wildlife Trust. She's based over in the East Coast, and they use Hebridean sheep, which are a bit more. I think they're like an ancient breed. It's a bit wilder sheep, a bit more rugged, and this is a bit similar, kind of like along the same lines as a goat. But she said it really works because they do over time eat all the green, and then because they poo out less nutrition because their bodies are absorbing it, just gradually go down. Yeah, so I was searching. I think it was yesterday. One of my Google searches was, "Can I train chickens to eat nettles?"
No, my chickens don't eat nettles, but if they get in the plot as well, they eat anything apart from bloody nettles.
They do nibble away at the dock leaves, which is handy, but not enough.
Yeah. But I think is that your dad's just said rent a goat, and you can rent a goat, but they want so much money. We can get goats. They'll come and be on here for all summer, but it's 30p a square metre.
Wow.
And I've got 5 acres out there.
Yeah,
That's quite a lot of money.
That's thousands.
You can buy one for cheaper.
You can buy goats for about £125, £150 each.
this is good intel. I'm so glad we're having a discussion. I want to go back to Chris. Like, you know that discussion about fluffy goats and sheep that we've had, and you've said no about 100 times.
I've had a few people say to me, "Oh, what about get sheep? They'll do it as well." I said, "No, but the thing is, sheep eat grass, goats don't, and we don't want the grass to be eaten because the horses eat that. You see, so it has to be goats."
That's brilliant. Okay, that's really good to know. I had no idea. Thank you.
Yes, Gemma, we have 5 acres, but it's a horse field. That's all it is, with my allotment in it. And
It sounds like it's slowly becoming a small holding to me. You've got
yes.
bees.
There's bees on there. We've got chickens. If I get some goats now, oh yeah.
Pigs.
Oh God. No, I don't think I have pigs just wreck everywhere, don't they? Dig everything up. There's a massive helicopter just flown over my house. Did you hear it? That was just like it touched the chimney. Bloody hell. Are you selling? Only joking. Yeah, so that's how I'm hoping to battle our weeds.
That's I will. Yeah, let me know how it goes because I'll be.
How else do you do it apart from go around and pull them? You know, I don't want to use chemicals. You know, I haven't used any chemicals for 5 years, and I don't want to start it now.
We're lucky on the field just below ours is National Trust owned, and they've got 4 wild ponies at the moment for the same reason. So they're eating the bramble, and they're not really eating the nettles yet. They've gone through the grass, so they wouldn't be good in your situation because you've got your horses to bear. They are eating. They went for the grass first of all. They've eaten it down, and now that's gone, they are starting to go for the dock brambles. They're starting to nibble away at the leaves. So I'll see how that goes over the next couple of weeks. But they're not on our fields, but potentially they could be an option.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, with ours, we've got ragwort in there, and we're not supposed to have it out. I think it's by law you're not allowed to have it in a field with horses, but it's just so much. It's come back with force this year. It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Do you find that they avoid to be around it? Is when they use the
No,
bike.
the thing is, it's not. It doesn't hurt them if it's alive. It's if it's dead. So if you pull it or you trim it, you have to get it out of the field because it dries, and apparently that's when it's bad for them.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's,
So
they can't tell them when they can't. There's something when it's alive. They can tell it's what it is.
I
But
guess it's got a fragrance on it or something, isn't it? So yeah. Sorry, just what's Jen? She said rent the goat.
Well, yeah, you can charge me 40p.
Yeah. Oh, I'll do it cheaper. I'll do it 10p.
Oh, brilliant. That's the deal.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Gemma. Perfect. Oh, just go back a little bit back to gardens. On the notes that you sent me, I was quite shocked, and I'm just going to read it out exactly. 42% of private gardens are paved.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it is unbelievable. So it was the Orange State of Gardening report, which came out last year, and it's a really good report actually. It's the first time I've done something like that and gone, this is all these different things in garden, like barriers, rose, cotton, etc. But they mapped it with, I can't remember who they. It's probably a government department or something. They used satellite data to map the gardens, so they could work out. I can't think of the numbers on my now. But I think about 5% of UK land is garden land, which includes parks. But 42% of the residential gardens, so like 42% is coming up to half of garden land is paved. And so it's like, for me, I was like, and I know others as well, were just shocked. That's huge. That is so significant. It's sort of bordering on a crisis for nature. That 5% land, a huge chunk of it, almost half, is less because you've got all of the planting over it, all the soil underneath is damaged or harmed. And the reasons for that, so I looked into it, I wrote a column for Gardens Illustrated in this month's magazine about this topic. And the reasons are so obviously a driveway being paved over. But also just, I guess, this trend. I think the gardening world, so people that we'll all know aren't so guilty of this. It's going to be, you know, when you see on social media, the garden companies are going, look at this amazing transformation, and it was a lovely wildlife haven, and it's just a paving prison cell, prison yard. I mean, it's like that kind of, when it's completely paved over, so that completely no maintenance garden, that's been accelerating as well. Yeah, and just overuse of hard landscaping. But you know, for me, it's like that's it's such a massive issue for our benefit. And I guess there's things like in the Netherlands, like tile whipping competitions, so like paving slab whipping, where towns compete to remove paving basically plant. And
Sorry.
Bad drive.
Did you see my face change then? Like, what?
But yeah, so that's what they do. They whip tiles. But they remove as much as possible and replace it with planting. And I'm like, we could at least be doing that. Let's try and change the narrative here. And I've actually, in my designs, I think it's still true that I've removed more paving. I do put paving in still, but it's removed more paving, so I'm reducing it down. In some cases, there's another front garden in Headland Bridge, all paved, and we just took it all away again and planted it all up and stuff. So there's things like that, and it's just so much better, because who wants to just a paved front garden when you could have lovely planting and stuff? But the thing is, it needs much more discussion. I'm glad you brought it up, because it just needs to be front of mind. It's like,
oh yeah, that's horrendous.
Yeah,
it's mental. But I
It's
suppose it's
probably
not. It's water runoff as well, because that causes. Because it's not going to be permeable stuff, is it? It's just going to be concrete slabs, majority of it.
Yeah, I should say on a positive spin, it is on the government's agenda. So they have made it. You need to have planning permission to do non-permeable paving in front gardens, which is something they didn't do it because of nature or anything like that. They did it because of water runoff. But it's something. It stops the concrete tide a little bit. But you can still do permeable stuff. So you could do bricks, which is water can still get through, and there can still be some life underneath. But that's not going to be as good as a planted ecosystem. Yeah, so it's a real, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I suppose a lot of it as well. I think it was Mark's mum or dad. I always get it muddled up which accounts they are. Mark said about most people's front gardens have got cars on them now.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was on one in the years last year before I left London, went to one job and it was along this road just on the suburbs of London. Quite a nice street, like quite big, not giant houses, but they're all right. They all had quite big gardens. Every single one, and it must have been 50, was a paved driveway. So it all changed. It's like, I get it, you want to get your car off, but yeah, the increase in cars is driving. You can do those sort of tyre strips with planting around, and they actually work really well, and they look quite nice. So I think that's there's ways of doing it. I think
that's what Gemma's just said. Do you have any suggestions for a good driveway? But I was going to say that just two strips with. They even have. I don't not myself obviously, but I've heard designers and things on podcasts about driving over different times and different plants which bounce back. Then they almost enjoy being battered about a bit.
Yeah, I think I bet a bunch of things you could do. Like I think that's a good start, having those tyre tracks, and planting low stuff underneath. But I bet if you had for one, you go, well, actually, I'm going to I need to have a car space, but it doesn't need to take up the whole driveway. Like it could be just keep it to the size of the car, or like you said, just you could plant underneath it. And trying like an old driveway is like an old farm gravel driveway, and the edges are all being repopulated by plants. Where I park, half of it is repopulated by grasses and clover and buttercup and dandelions. And you're right, they just bounce back. So you imagine if that was all over, you could just basically park on grass, and that's something I've done here actually on where the ground's quite wet and boggy, where I step around. I've just put some hardcore down, and the plants have grown through it, and it's just given that area more structure. So when I head on it, I'm actually not crushing all the plants. You can repeat that. Like you could have a partially gravel driveway, and just accept that plants stuff's going to self-seed into it like mad. That's why I'm a bit cautious about recommending gravel gardens to people, because it's not. I think they're touted as being low weeding, but they might be for about 6 months. But gravel is like the ultimate weed. weed. So there's ways of doing it, I think, but there's a big discussion, I think, in back gardens. Essentially, do we really need to have so much paving? Celebrating lawns. I've been guilty in the past of going, remove your lawn and grow stuff, but actually, did we all go too far? Actually, lawns are really good because they are, as long as they're not ginormous, not mowing like acres and acres, they're actually a living surface that absorbs carbon, can be flowers, is good habitat for certain insects, but birds in low turf are able to go and get worms and insects out of it, which they can't do in longer grass. So I think there's sorry, I'm really going off one.
Keep going.
But yeah, you could just have trying to make that all, but basically rethinking like how do we not pave everything? And maybe even we need to go. We just need to be much stronger and just go legally. People can't pave more than 10% of their garden or whatever it is, and maybe there's a patio or something. It sounds like we need something like that, doesn't it? If it's at 42% now, it's even going to be 50% and then more.
That's the thing, yeah. Go on, Mark.
I think the other problem is probably the fact that on new build estates, the gardens are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So people just have, they're like, well, what's the point of having anything other than a paved surface so I can sit out there on my sort of furniture, because there is nothing else. And then they'll just have pots maybe.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. That's like, you're bang on. It's like, if gardens are getting smaller, it gets to a point where you can't make the patio any smaller. Otherwise, we'll all be sitting around like
3 slabs.
Yeah, like hi. There's a point where there's like a minimum size of seating area that you have to have, but then in a small garden, then suddenly you have a strip. But actually, there's one garden that I did, and next door is some friends of ours, and they're new builds. The gardens aren't massive. I'd say they're maybe 5 meters by 5 meters. So they're good. To me, that's a good sized garden. That was the size of our courtyard in London. But it's still, I'd say that's pretty small. And a seating area probably needs to be, for 4 people, needs to be about 3 by 3 meters as a rough guide. You could stretch that. You might be able to squash it a little bit, but that's, yeah, table and moving space for seats and stuff. Yeah, so suddenly you've got some. Anyway, they've managed to squash lots of planting. One of them's got a window. They got stepping stones going through to the gate, so they're trying to maximise it. They've just been really, both households have been really conscious of, like, we've got a small garden, we want a small bit of paving, and actually the planting area was actually added because I think it was on an old mill site and it was not planted before, so they've actually added planting in, but going up as well, so lots of trees and shrubs and climbers. Really maximising that space is another thing, I suppose. But yeah, but it is a challenge with, people are. It's not necessarily everyone's fault if you're trying to squeeze planting in, but you've only got a small space. It's a real challenge.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? And a lot of times the builders, all they do, they will put a patio outside a concrete patio outside the patio doors on a new build house, and that's it. So it's they're almost left with it when they buy a new house.
Yeah, I was just the next column I think it's in a couple of months' time. I just submitted a draft today, and I didn't realise that there's one MP, I forgot the name now, but she, in last year's planning and infrastructure bill, which was all around new build houses, she and the RHS and 20 other charities had submitted an amendment asking for space to grow. So in new build sites, there needs to be enough space in gardens for growing, or allotments or community gardens. There's a really good idea, or all three perhaps. A really good idea, but it was just it didn't make it in. So I don't know if it was necessarily completely dismissed, but it wasn't. So it's like, oh, that's such a shame, because that's so clearly so needed for lots of different reasons.
Not just having somewhere to grow, it's the community that it would also create.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, you'll both know how important it is for loads of different reasons to be growing stuff. Yeah, community especially, to have outdoor space. It just seems, so sad that we're going to build all of these houses and some of them might not have proper outdoor space to socialise or just to be out. So, yeah, it seems like a really missed opportunity. So it'd be good to read it.
They really need it because all the new estates are so crammed in, aren't they? They need proper park areas where people can go out and sit and relax, and let the kids have a run around on the grass and things.
Yeah, I was out in Greater Manchester with Bud Garden Centre for a talk over there a few weeks ago, and it was in amongst lots of estates from, I guess it was last, I don't know, 50 years ago or more maybe, but it was just done properly. Like every house had a big garden, and they designed it around big front garden, big back garden. There was parks in the middle, so all of that outdoor space was given forth. And now it just seems to be, I suppose, everything's so squashed. I'm not really sure what else to do about it really, other than keep talking about, explaining how important these spaces are to people.
Yeah, that's all we can do, isn't it? So maybe somebody who can make a difference might hear it and think, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, definitely. Really good. Right, Jack, it's ticking up. So Mark's got a list of. I'm really interested in one of these questions. I don't know whether you've heard them before or not, whether you've had a little look. But one of these questions, I'm really interested. So these are the lightning questions. But what I hear, especially one of the answers in right in the middle.
Oh, blimey, okay.
You know which one I'm talking about, Mark.
Pressure's on now. So the first one is flowers or edibles.
Oh, blimey,
That's hard.
Who's eating them, doesn't it? It could be if it's insect. Ed, I'm going to go with edibles. That might surprise people, but yeah.
Good choice. Next one's beach or forest.
Forest.
Got to be forest. Go to emoji in a text message.
Sorry.
Go to emoji.
Oh, the double spinning heart, the pink heart that spins. I use it on the door.
That's a new one. Good choice. If you could only have one snack for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It'd have to be chocolate. I wanted to say kiwi, but it's going to be chocolate.
Any particular chocolate?
You know what? It's just milk chocolate. I try to have dark chocolate, but just just any milk chocolate, and I'm gone.
Agree here.
You can't beat it, can you? It's lovely.
Favorite day of the week?
I think I do have a favourite day. That might sound mad, but Wednesday.
Same as mine.
I think I went Tuesday, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not the traditional ones that you'd
Mine's
think.
Wednesday. It's really weird. I don't know why.
It's the Wednesday was the day that I had off when I dropped down to 4 days a week. And I wanted it to be Monday or Friday, but I was forced to have it on a Wednesday. And it was the best thing. You could have a day off to do your own thing, and no one noticed. And you didn't feel stressed because you could go, I'm not working today. I'm back for 2 months. Yeah.
I think mine was Wednesday because my column has to be in by a Tuesday afternoon, so no, that's out the way. And then also I've got through the garden gates done, so I've got the rest of the week to myself.
All your priorities are done.
Yeah.
What would you do with your perfect Wednesday then?
Oh, what would I do? I would be out in the garden for a bit. I'd get up, I'd grab a coffee, I'd get out in the garden and do some bits like on the allotment. Like right now, I'm a bit behind you, I think maybe because where I am, but I'm going to get out the squashes in the next week. But I'll probably head off for a drive to a new nature reserve I hadn't been to before, hunting out a new wildflower or a new habitat or something like that, or a new bird or something. That's my dream thing. A bit of gardening, a bit of nature.
Nice. Sounds good to me. Favourite season?
Whichever one. I mean, it's going to be that's an annoying answer. I love autumn and I love spring. So it's going to have to be right. You can't beat spring. It's just I know I love autumn so much. When I get autumn, I'll be like, it's autumn. But right now, everything's so lush and exuberant, and there's so much to do, and it's exciting. Yeah. Spring probably.
Whichever one you're in.
Before you go to the next one, just a quick question. Do you go by your seasons by the meteorological way, like we are now in summer, in June, or do you do it the other way with the, what's it called? Solstices?
I tend to go more on the solstices because it's like it's more practical, I think, because it's kind of in the equinox, so not in a the marker. I'm kind of like, well, New Year and the winter solstice are kind of the same thing. They're a few days, they're about a week apart, and and it's more useful for me. Yeah, you can't really see the winter solstice happening, but you know. Spring equinox is so in March. That's a useful marker for going right. That's when I'm going to start sowing stuff. Around. And then the summer solstice is that's really just because that's when all of the warm season stuff going. So you can around all of that. But really, I use both. I still use the monthly calendar because that's what everyone. Yeah, but probably a combination of two, I think.
Yeah. If you could make one thing disappear from your garden or the gardening world, what would it be?
So many answers. Probably pave it. No, but oh god, what do I? At the moment, I've got so many nettles, but I don't want them all. But maybe got it. Spanish bluebell. Can that just go?
Go. Just leave us with the English ones.
Yeah. So many gardens. I've been like 2 or 3 feet down to get that bulb out for Spanish bluebell. Actually, my proper answer should be pesticide, shouldn't it? That's a good. All of those things, chuck them all in.
Chuck them all in. They're all in room 101. And here, I believe, is the one that Jamie was talking about. Favourite weed.
Favourite weed. I go through this all the time, and I'm thinking of getting a tattoo at some point soon. I want it to be my favourite weed, but I can't decide. It's probably going to be either oxeye daisy, which I really love because it's a doer, or maybe bush vetch, which is not bush vetch, tufted vetch, which has the lovely sort of space, like alien-like purple and pink flowers, and really like those.
We were talking lots about vetch last week, weren't we, Mark?
Yeah, with what name's completely gone? Nate.
Yes, yeah, really good.
You really like them.
Oxeye daisies, do you think, are they having a bit of a special year? Because they seem to me like there's absolutely millions of them this year.
There are. I think it's a good year for daisies and thistles, I think.
Yeah, thistles, definitely.
And cleavers, I don't know where they've come from, but our garden is covered in them.
Yeah.
I'm interested in what both of your least favourite weeds are. The most challenging weed.
It'd have to be bindweed in my garden.
Bindweed as well.
Yeah.
Bindweed. In the actual garden, in my veg plot, I don't get too many weeds. I'm no dig, and I keep on top of it all the time. But I get couch grass in a couple of the beds in the allotment.
Yeah.
But as long as I keep on top of it, I go out and pull it every week, and that's not too bad.
That's it. Yeah, we had. I'm lucky not. Weirdly, I don't have the one weed we don't have here is bindweed. But we've got all the others. I've done free food forest down in Maidstone. One of them is we didn't see it when we went to look in winter, but now it's just complete. It's a mat of field bindweed everywhere. So it's just I don't know what we're going to do with that. Yeah. Change.
And then the next one is today's favourite plant.
Today's favourite plant is there's a Dutch iris that has just come out by our front door. I completely forgot I planted it. It's kind of unfurling in they're kind of the bulb irises, and they're really tough and hardy for me, and come back perennially, really brilliantly. But there's one. It's kind of like you kind of look at it and you might think it's like a disgusting sort of browny purple colour, but it's actually really painty. I always forget it's there. I think it's called Lion's Mane or Lion something anyway. So that's quite amazing. But I'm also I'll have to stop because all of these questions I want to give you a list of about 20.
Go on, have one more. Go on then. You nearly said it.
The other one I'm interested. I've just planted so I'm about to say this one. I was for another one. I planted a cherry tree, and that's just seems to have rooted really nicely. A fruiting cherry tree, just down in the area, and that's it seems to be shooting really nicely. We've been planting more edible trees over the last year, quite a lot of them, and that's been really fun seeing them take. And then once they've taken, it's like, oh, this is brilliant, because I just know they're going to grow, and then it gets.
Have you got a peach?
I haven't got a peach. That's
My peach is the best thing in the world. I can't wait till my peach fruits.
you just have it outside, do you?
It's up against. I've trained it up against the west-facing wall.
Okay.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I might do that. We're quite exposed. We're up on a hill in West Yorkshire, but there is outside the front of the house. There's a small planting pocket, and that's south-facing, so it gets really toasty. Yeah, maybe that's the spot.
Brilliant.
You can get patio ones as well, so it's smaller, and you can just have them in a pot.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next one. If your plants could talk, what would they say about you?
They'd be like, "Why are you looking at me so much, you weirdo?"
Just stop.
I hope that otherwise, apart from that, hopefully they'll be generally positive, because I do look after them quite well.
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
You'd hope so. Favourite garden scent?
I think it's got to be honeysuckle. I think it's just amazing. It's like that right level of. I love jasmine as well, which is that's really musky, heavy scent. Whereas jasmine is really lovely, sweet, bit musky. It's got the right scent, I think. So it's got to be that one.
So, a question about honeysuckle, because Mark still probably hasn't done it. Have you ever got a honeysuckle flower, and at the bottom there's a little green nibbly bit? You pull it off, and the stamen comes out with that drop of nectar on it. Have you ever done that and tasted it?
I have, yes, and I've done that with you can do it with salvias as well. And you get a little splash of nectar. Lovely.
Yeah.
Nice. You're the emperor of the world. What's the first thing you're going to do?
Find me. Well, the first.
You've dreamt about it so often.
Okay, there's proper answers, but I think to keep it gardening, I'm going to go. I'm thinking of all these things I could do now, like starting with Trump. I'll be like, my gardening would probably be like, stop the pesticides, let's do something about paving.
And the world is instantly better.
Might be a bit odd if you get the new emperor of the world and the first thing they do is go, right, everyone get gardening.
Everybody would be happier.
Everyone would be happy. Yeah.
Definitely would.
Definitely. And then the final one is, if you could choose 3 people to garden with, who would they be? And they can be anyone, dead or alive, famous, friends.
I think after this conversation, I'd be happy to garden with you two if you bring your goats. I'd love to. There's Christopher Lloyd, big garden, right? He was before my time, actually. He passed away before I got back properly into the gardening world. But I've kind of experienced him through his writing and his books, and Great Dicks to the Garden is just to him. It's very sad. Nigel Dunnett, who passed away recently, big hero of mine, and I kind of thought we'd still have all of this time where we could have chatted, or he could have visited our garden, and it's just not going to happen now. Which I'm so sad about that.
Such a loss. Really is.
Yeah, it's just it was really shocking. But so Nigel, I'm trying to think of another gardener. I don't know who the third one would be. Probably bring in someone like, why not bring Monty Don in and see what he's going to be?
Why not?
Actually, Derek Jarman would be interesting, because he'd probably Derek Jarman and Christopher Lloyd, I bet, would be really good at party.
Quite a pair.
I think they'd probably be a bit like slight chaos together.
Sounds like a fun day to me.
Good answers, yeah. Is that it?
That's it. That's the last one.
Last one. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Well,
Thank you
Jack,
so
I've
much.
thoroughly enjoyed the last hour and 3/4 now, nearly.
That's gone by quickly. I didn't realise it was.
Yeah, no, it's 9:10 now. Yeah. Oh, it's been really, really good. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me. I've loved that. That's been brilliant.
I'll keep you up
We'll
to
have
date
to
with the
have you on
goat.
again because you've got a new book coming out at some point this year.
I have, yeah. That's yeah. I'll be able to reveal all quite soon. I think so it'll be yeah, towards the end of the year there might be something coming out, which I'm really,
Oh, exciting.
yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait to talk about it more with you. Really,
Yeah, so we'll get you back on then
Yeah.
brilliant.
because we haven't even scratched the surface. So
Yeah, I think that'll be yeah, especially for foodie things, that could be quite interesting.
Oh.
Stop myself, right? Stop.
Quick, go before you get yourself in trouble.
I will get in trouble as well. I'm not allowed to talk about it. But,
All
yeah,
right, Jack.
but, yeah, try out the goats.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Yeah, then we'll share a kiwi together if it all works.
Brilliant. Okay, mate. Thank you so much. See you later.
Yeah.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Mm. Oh, lovely man.
Brilliant. Isn't it? I listened to a podcast called Strangers on a Bench, and it's just this guy that goes around his local area, basically, in parks, and just goes up to a random person on the bench and has a conversation. And they're always just so brilliant. And I was thinking the other day, it's pretty similar to what we do, although
Yeah.
sort of know the people, you know, because you can read what they do on Instagram and you can watch them.
Yeah.
You know, we've never met them before most of the time.
No.
And we end up having an hour and 20 minutes worth of conversation.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? And we could have kept going and going and going. Yeah, there's so much, so many things to talk about. No, what a fantastic bloke. God, he's done everything, hasn't he?
Yeah. His book's brilliant. I'd recommend anyone, you know, it's not just about weeds. It's, you know, it's gardening as well, and just trying to be more natural with your gardening rather than traditional ways. And I think that's where we're all heading eventually. You know, we're going to get more, gardening's going to be more about taming nature rather than just ripping it all out and trying to do what you want to do with the space.
Yeah. I'll get that. I'll get that and put it to my collection.
It is a nice book as well. I like the cover. It's a good quality book. Feels good.
Very good. Yeah, that's next on my list.
Wild about weeds.
Really good.
And then another one is A Green Life, I think I said. I'll just quickly scroll back. Oh, there we go. Yes.
A Greener Life.
This is the other one.
Yeah. It's a broader wildlife and organic gardening how-to book. Yeah.
All the good stuff.
Definitely. Oh, brilliant. What number are we up to now, Mark?
I think this is 136.
Wow.
Over 3 years.
Mental, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Oh.
And, you know, we still find people that we've never spoke to, or, you know, some people have never. So you could probably go another 136 and not run out of people, because there's always new people popping up as well.
It's crazy that when, you know, a lot of the people I look on Instagram daily and think, yeah, you've been on.
Yeah, we tend to do that at the shows as well, don't we?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You're in a floral marquee and you're like, all of you have been on our podcast.
Yeah. Brilliant. Right. I ain't had no dinner yet.
Go eat your food.
Rain
Radish?
stop. Nah. No, I'm not gonna have a radish because it's not ready.
It'd be much of a mouthful, that wouldn't be. Until it's
You've now got to go and face the wrath of Steph.
I'll not be allowed in. I'll be down here still next. I ain't even got a cup of tea anymore.
No way. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching.
And we'll see you all next week.
Will do. Ta-da, Mark.
And if you want some more Jamie, go check out Monday Musings from yesterday.
Oh yeah. Go and see mine and Lexi's, and you can see some stuff all about me,
which you've probably not heard before because he doesn't usually talk that much about himself in that
Not
detail.
No.
It was a good episode. I listened to it this morning.
Oh, lovely. All right.
See you all later.
Ta-da, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Through the Garden Gate.